Peace. Salute. Salute, good people. Peace and blessings to everybody. Happy Sunday, wherever you guys may be. I'm extending some warm blessings to the good people. Had to get my incense, on, my water at my side, right? Got the energies going. I'm feeling good. And checking out my little settings, making sure I'm good. Can you guys hear me okay? I always like to check with my good people because sometimes, random things go awry. So I want to make sure that all is intelligible for you and that I'm coherent. Before I check in with the good family, give me 1 second. Let me just double check my little setup here. Looks like I'm good to go, right? Let's check in with the good family. Peace and blessings to everybody. Let's see who we got in the building. Gotta salute my good family. Let's see who we got. Oh my goodness, yeah, we got some good family making their way in. Peace and blessings, beautiful people. Happy Sunday to you. Let's see who we got up in here. Oh my goodness, my twin. My twin, the king, the lovely king. Daryl Anderson in the building. Infinite blessings to my twin. Salute to you, twin. Always wonderful to see you. I get happy when the twin is in the building. Big, big love to my twin. He says, salute to the beautiful queen, aka my twin Sugar Free, and salute to the rest of the kings and the queens in the chat. Infinite blessings to you, King. Thank you so much for coming. We got the King Jut also in the building. He says, salute, great warrior queen. Big, big shout out to the King Jut. Always 10 toes. Okay. With that wonderful energy. He's always very affable and open and alacritous for the smoke. Okay. Infinite blessings to the king. Jut. Yes, twin. All right. Let him know, please. Thank you. Okay. Because they must have forgot in my Roy Jones voice. Get them nods up in the air. Absolutely. Who else we got up in here? I got the King Jut. Oh my goodness. Salute to my number one comrade, the coach, the king and the coach, as I call him. Salute to the Coach Hudson in the building. You guys, make sure you subscribe to Coach Hudson. He'd be over there cooking. He'd be over there talking all types of boxing talk that I love. Definitely salute and subscribe to the Coach Hudson. Okay. He says, salute to my number one comrade, the beautiful, intelligent SugarFreeMars. Infinite blessings to you, comrade. It's always wonderful to see you. I hopped on his panel for an impromptu discussion, very brief discussion, but we got to cook on some things, which was wonderful. I still want to cook with you, King, on some other things. How do you message on? Can we message on YouTube? We got to exchange emails, right? Or just hit me up, sugarfreemars@gmail. Okay, because we need to work on some things, Coach. Infinite blessings to the coach in the building. Oh my goodness. Speaking of 10 toes on deck, we got the king, Patrice X30 in the building. Infinite blessings to this lovely king. He says, salute Sugar Free. In a world where lies are rewarded, you bring the unfiltered truth. See, this is why we rocks with the king, Patrice. Okay. He is so conscious a brother. He is a wonderful brother. Okay. Of sound mind and of upright spirit. Infinite blessings to you, King. It's always wonderful to see you in the building, to have you. I appreciate you taking a moment of your Sunday to come talk some boxing talk with the goddess. I appreciate you very much, Patrice. Wonderful to see you. Oh my goodness, we got my queen, Mama Love, Jaquila Fields in the building. She says, salute, warrior queen. Peace to the chat. Yes, beautiful woman. I'm always happy and elated to see this beautiful woman extend her presence and her energy here with us here. Lovely to see you, my mom. Sending you big, big hugs as always. You already know it's love. Okay. Who else we got? Oh my goodness, we got my beautiful sis. My beautiful sis. Cammy Cam in the building. She says, salute to my beautiful sis. Yes, indeed, lovely. I love to see you in the building. I'm always elated and ecstatic to see you, sis. Thank you so much for joining. Who else we got? We got Julian Burwell in the building. He says, salute, Sugar Free. Blessings to you, King. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate your presence today. We got the G McCall in the building. Infinite blessings to the G. Okay, another one always 10 toes with that wonderful energy I love to see. My good family is in the building. Salute to the King Snoop in the building. He says, Miss Queen Sugar Free. Queen Sugar. Blessings to you with your flowers. I appreciate you, King. Always wonderful to see the King Snoop in the building. Lovely to see you, King. Thank you so much. And as you guys make your way in, I'm just scrolling through here. I see the family giving salutations to each other. Salute to my good brother. I am Trill Will. Big, big love to you, Trill. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you very, very much. He has some hearts on deck for me. I'm sending them back to you twofold, King. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Infinite blessings. We also have the King Khalid on deck. He says, peace to the god of Sugar-Free Mars. And the complete cipher. Okay. I like that one. Definitely repping 10 toes today, King, and definitely happy to see you on board. So yeah, let's see what I want to get into. A lot of stuff that I have been viewing that I'm sure the good family has been taking a gander at over the past week since we last convened and conversed. Real talk, you guys, there is so much that should be spoken to that I really did not know outrightly how I wanted to approach today's conversation because I felt like there was so much to say, right? I feel like there are certain weeks where I can just get right to it and kind of just like, okay, well, everything is so clear. I could just attack it from this angle, that angle, or this angle. But I've been finding that as of late, as of the past few weeks, I want to say really the past month, because now we are in December, there really has been an all-encompassing type of energy that seems to be so gargantuan that it becomes almost impossible to relegate, my topic of discussion to a singular, to a single focus, if you will, because there are so many intertwining and interwoven aspects and elements within it that it almost feels it's impossible to kind of get everything. But, of course, I try to streamline it as best as I can because I know we can't be here for days and days talking, right? Because we got things to do. But I say that to say that there are a lot of elements at play, beautiful people. Many and much of which we have touched upon, over the past year, just in viewing the boxing landscape. Hold on, let me take a sip of my water. Many of it we have touched upon, right? But I think as far as Devin, I really wanted to make Devin the central theme here. Because even without my doing, the Young King seems to be the central theme just in general in boxing. You understand what I'm saying? And I have really been finding that the moves that he makes have been such that a ripple effect has been caused, a wave has been caused throughout boxing, almost totally and completely predicated on his moves, totally predicated upon the trajectory that he is setting out upon. It's a reverberating, it's a ripple effect, a domino effect, if you will, and he is at the center of that. He is kind of the eye of the storm. He is dictating the moves and non-moves, of all types of dynamics that are at work in boxing right now. It's very interesting. And I don't know too many people who are readily available for this level of dialogue, right? That we have been having. And of course, that I want to tap into a little bit further today, right? There are very few out there who are on the front lines of this type of discourse, right? And, I would say 100% of it are the people that we rocked with very closely. And we know those brothers and sisters who are out here on the front lines stepping 10 toes, right? But outside of our small little community of conscious people, I really don't see a readiness to go ahead and jump in and dive into this level of dialogue concerning these elements within boxing, and particularly ones that centralize what seems to be at work and at play here as far as it concerns Devin Haney. Okay. Um, Very interesting conversation I wanted to tap into. But I guess I could just outrightly say, okay, the boxing world is scared to death of Devin Haney. Let's just not even, you know what I mean? Let's not even try to tiptoe around the matter. You feel me? The boxing world is scared to death of Devin Haney, brothers and sisters. Us here, the good family, already know what type of time that's on. But for the bitches in the back who like to play the delusion game, oh, what's up on you niggas tonight? Okay? Because some feelings are about to be hurt. I am in no mood tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to cuss at or assuage anybody's delusions. I'm not in the mood for that. So if it's too heavy, find your way out now, because I'm in the motherfucking kitchen today. There is no reticence over here, no half stepping. We need to speak plainly. All right? The overwhelming majority, brothers and sisters, of fighters in and around the welterweight division want no smoke with the young king, period. They want no smoke with him. And that is majoritively speaking. The young king Deebo, ladies and gentlemen, got niggas out here trembling like a motherfucker in their boots, if I can speak as plainly as possible. Trembling in their goddamn boots, left and right. I mean, all throughout the sport, from media, so-called outlets, to fighters, to fans. All of these niggas tremble at the sight and stature and moves and motivations of the young king. You understand me? It's been made absolutely evident and apparent for quite some time. It is just that in this time here, it can no longer be avoided. That reality cannot be sidestepped. It is being evinced as clearly as possible. We can see that as clearly as possible. There is no more room for the evasions. Everything is exposed. Okay? There is no more avoiding. There is no more evading. Nothing. In fact, there is no fighter more evaded or avoided or circumvented or sidestepped or dodged or ducked than Devin in all of boxing. There is no fighter more avoided, ducked, dodged, sidestepped than Devin in all of boxing, brothers and sisters. It's crazy. Okay? For those of us who have been 10 toes with the young king, good people, and rocking with him for a long time, we already are very much privy to the fact that this is nothing new. This level of duckery and evasion, we already know what time it is, that it's not new, right? And I posit that ever since attaining championship at the tender age of 20 years old, brothers and sisters, people who have been considered to be the quote unquote top names in boxing have done their best, unmitigatedly, have done their best to skirt around the dream. Ever since his attainment of championship at 20 years old, brothers and sisters, those of us who have good memory and who have been, in support of this brother for that long of a time, we already know what time it is. It's been happening since then. Let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? Adrian Broner, Tank Davis, Robert Easter, Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko have all been names that this man has been calling out since he was 20. And these are all names that the young king have been hunting for nonstop. Right? And here we are 7 years later, still finding the same occurrences ensuing. 7 years later, still cowards are running the mill, talking all types of big shit in the sport. All the while, they are still afraid to chase their dreams. Pun intended. Scared to chase their supposed and alleged dreams when it comes to the dream, brothers and sisters. Don't have me preaching up in here today. What is this? What I have been witnessing, brothers and sisters, is a level of fear that this era, in my view, is going to be undoubtedly infamous for. This era is going to be infamous for this level of fear and evasion and duckery that we have been seeing and witnessing. People are going to look back on these very moments right here, and they are going to be astounded by what was allowed to take shape in this current era. It's going to astound them. It's going to astound many of us. Like, yo, look what we had to sit through 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Crazy work. There is nothing like it in boxing, beautiful people. Nothing like it. This is its own outlier, an aberration. The young king is the singular threat. And I have said this many a times. The young king is the singular threat to the establishment of what the boxing suits and puppets want to uphold. He is the threat to that. Moreover, brothers and sisters, I posit that the so-called or the so perceived quote unquote top fighters of today not only fear that they will be ineffectual when competing with the skill set of the young Devin, but that these fighters may be operating in totality on a level that is subpar overall, on a level that is overall less than what we previously assumed as boxing enthusiasts. That's what I posit. That many of these fighters are operating on a subpar basis, and that is being exposed because of the moves of Devin Haney. It is inadvertently exposing the lack of temerity, the lack of courageousness in these fighters, and not only as far as their character, but it's exposing that they do not believe in their own skill sets for the reason why the evasion is on the level that it's at when it comes to the young king. That is my posit. Okay? Inadvertently, all of this stuff is being exposed and unveiled. One thing that the motivations and the actions of the young king seem to have produced, brothers and sisters, is the involuntary exposure of his contemporaries and the surrounding boxing community, in other words. It's a byproduct of his temerity. It's inadvertently causing timorousness or exposing the timorousness of his contemporary and the surrounding boxing community at large. You know what? It's kind of like how a dream is said to reveal the unconscious thoughts and motivations of individuals. You guys have heard that, right? That the dreams of an individual reveal the unconscious motivations of that person. Well, I find that the young dream Devin Haney has taken on that same effect within the boxing world, because he is raising to the surface the unconscious cowardice of the boxing community, the subterranean levels that they would like to hide from you or disguise as something else. He is exposing that, bringing it all to the surface. How fitting that his name is the Dream, to reveal the hidden agendas, hidden purposes, hidden motivations, secrets, the whole nine out this bitch. What else have we seen, brothers and sisters? Just think about it. Think about that analogy of the dream and the exposure of the things that are normally hidden and kept beneath the surface. What else have we been seeing except for the absolute exposure of myriad levels, for example, of which the boxing community has been attempting to quote unquote deal with the inevitable rise and supremacy of Deebo Dev? What else have we been seeing except that being exposed? These people trying to find all types of way to deal with this man's rise, to deal with his successes, to deal with his supremacy in boxing. We've been seeing people crash the fuck out in their attempt to deal with this man claiming turf and claiming space. All of this has been revealed and brought to the surface due to his level of temerity and valiance. Okay? All of it. All of these attempts of propaganda have indeed been conscious, brothers and sisters. They have been operating on a conscious level. That is to say, a concerted effort has been made on the part of the suits and the puppets who push the propaganda to inculcate the public space. However, I also posit that in addition to that conscious and concerted effort made on the part of these people who push and create the propaganda, right? There is also the element that makes propaganda so internecine. And that aspect is how it operates on the subconscious level, on the level not readily considered, right? On the level that could be easily taken as mundane or ineffectual. That is where propaganda has its most internecine effect on a public that is being inculcated, right? We have individuals out here, for example, brothers and sisters, who have taken on this loathsome disposition on the young King Devin, and they are not even aware as to why they have assumed that position. Y'all know what I'm talking about because we see it on a daily basis in these boxing streets. They don't even know why they have assumed that posture when it comes to Devin Haney. That is a byproduct of everything that is operative beneath the surface. They are not even clear or coherent as to why they are doing that. They have just been so inundated with the messaging that they have readily assumed that it's their own. That is not the case, brothers and sisters. They are being worked on and have no idea why they are holding this disposition and these views. Okay? They have simply jumped aboard a train that has no clear conductor when they try to recollect on what is the root and cause of this disposition that they hold. They are not even aware of the conductor of this particular train that they are riding. They have just assumed it wholeheartedly. Oh, well, it's moving, so I'm on it, I guess. That's the mentality. It's the going theme, so I'm going along with it, in other words. Okay? This is the ideology. This ideology is moving within the space, so it must be informative. This is what they are assuming. This is the going theme, so it must be something informative. It must be something denotive of truth and validity because this and this person said it, or because this and this person in a suit said it, or because I saw it written in an article somewhere. It has to hold or denote some type of validity, right? It's absolutely wild out here, brothers and sisters. Okay? And certainly within the space, when we consider this, that's going to be all the more effectual when we consider this mindset is operating within an environment where whether you turn to the left of you or to the right of you in any popular or major media outlet, for example, you turn to the left or the right, and the theme is, or the lore, or the erudition that is going on, are centered around themes that land-base and disavow DHP constantly and nonstop. When that is the environment that you walk into, whether you ask for it or not, when that is the going lore, you're going to be inundated with it. You're going to take it with you when you are constantly bombarded with these types of perspectives and untruths, right? You're going to automatically assume that this is something of validity because it's being pumped out to you by whatever major or so-called credible outlet. It's going to seem as if it's commonplace to join this particular ride or bandwagon. That is the power of propaganda, brothers and sisters, that I'm speaking about. But the unfortunate thing is that within that dynamic, you are not being directed to process and intellectualize on your own accord. You are instead expected to, sit down, shut up, and be a fan. That's what this propaganda dictates to you. That you do not make up your own mind about the athleticism, about the championship, the sportsmanship, the uprightness of said particular fighter, but that you automatically assume a posture that castigates and lambastes the character of a man you've been directed to hate. And for what reason? Right? Very interesting stuff. This is why Devin Haney is so feared, because he does not have a history of unprofessionalism. He does not have a history of missing weight. He does not have a history of drug cheating. He does not have a history, of anything, that would debase or berate his character or sportsmanship in the sport, whatever. He is upright. He is courageous. He exemplifies a level of valor. He is never timorous with his responses or with his moves. He is also an upright businessman. He is assuming a posture that no other fighter currently in the sport holds. As far as his business dealings and ownership and individuality and independence, he is a threat to that establishment on so many levels. It's crazy out here. One can then understand why these attempts are so relentless. Now, in analyzing the movements of the young King Devin, it is, like I said, an inadvertent reaction that I had, or that he is making, on the moves of his contemporaries, as I stated. Now, in analyzing the movements of particular fighters who have been deemed or assumed to have been noteworthy, right? In analyzing these people who we have heralded as noteworthy fighters, as elite fighters, or whatever have you, I am forced to put them in context, beautiful people, or at least in proximity to greatness. When I think about the terms that we have given people, when I think about the stature that we have accredited people with, whether prematurely or otherwise, what we are doing when we are giving these people that level of accreditation, brothers and sisters, is trying to place them and align them in proximity to greatness, because that is what we believe they have. When we deem somebody to be noteworthy, when we say, oh, this person you got to watch out for, when we say things like he's next up, so forth and so on, brothers and sisters, what we are doing is assimilating them in proximity to greatness. That's what we do in sports. Okay? Perfectly natural, right? Or we at least are going to put them at, are we going to recognize their pursuit of greatness? And whatever that proximity is along the way is what it is. But that's what we are doing, right? These men are going to be deemed as credible, in other words, because we've associated their skill set, their mastery, or their style to that of an elite expression in boxing, right? Is that correct? Would you guys concur with that? That's what we do. We're going to associate their skill. When we like them, we're going to deem them credible, and we're going to do that because we have seen a glimpse of that mastery, of that style that we like, or that expression, or whatever have you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, what is unfortunate about that in this particular era and within this current landscape, brothers and sisters, is that when it comes to two particular fighters of this era, I fear that an overestimation was made on the part of the boxing public. And I am referring to Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Red Light Special Davis. An overestimation was made, brothers and sisters. That's what I posit today. You can take of it what you want. This is my view that I'm sharing with you guys, and I'd love to hear your thoughts about that. I said what the fuck I said. A goddamn overestimation was made. An overexertion of enthusiasm was given to these two particular men. Right? I have never seen a more cowardly duo. This is what I have been led to believe. I have never seen a more cowardly duo amid this era of boxing, brothers and sisters, at all. I cannot even explain to you how cowardly these motherfuckers are moving. It's time to keep it a buck today, you guys. All right? All the way a buck. These men, Shakur Stevenson and Purple Pain Davis, have been heralded as the kings that would bring, let's say, greatness to the current landscape, that they would have brought greatness of the past to the forefront and in the center of the current landscape. This is how they were viewed. Shakur Stevenson, Purple Pain were, right next to Devin. It's the three of them, the three kings, right? And it's debatable on who the fourth may be, right? A lot of people said Lomachenko, a lot of people said Teofimo. That's questionable. But what is unyielding is that among those three kings were Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, and Tank Davis. That was not interchangeable at all, brothers and sisters. For my real ones in the building, those were immovable. So that as far as Purple Pain Davis and Shakur Stevenson were concerned, right alongside Devin Haney, they were thought to be of that great past, of that spirit, of that cloth, who were going to stand in the center of this current era with all of the shining glory of the past, beautiful black giants who have done it before them, right? We remember that. And to a large degree, many of us probably in our heart of hearts still hold that notion, still hold that belief and that hope as far as Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson are concerned, right? Because we have been that much, wrapped up and invested in their potential, right? So that's what we felt about them. They were going to bring a new era with the spirit and the flame of the past into the current. That was our hope in looking at them. They were going to bring that ferocity with them. These two names have rung inextricably next to Devin's for nearly a decade, beautiful people. We could not say Devin Haney's name without saying Tank Davis's name. We could not say Tank Davis's name without the mentioning of Shakur Stevenson. It was inextricable. Okay? These names have sounded alarms, that has not been seen in all of the sport, beautiful people. Even right now, no names are so synonymous with each other like that of Devin, Core, and Tank Davis. almost 10 years later, the fire is still attached to those three names and the possibility that they will meet and collide on the battlefield at some point. To this day, these brothers still hold that type of heat. Okay? It's a beautiful thing for any intelligible, coherent, cognizant boxing fan. But what is sad is that we will never get to see that lived out, brothers and sisters. I have been convinced. We'll get into that in a bit, though. Right? Let's just take a gander at this for a second, if I can paint this picture for my brothers and sisters. So that even though these names were inextricably linked and they have sounded all types of alarms all throughout the sport for nearly goddamn 10 years, what stands to be undeniable is that while the young King Devin was embarking on his path for all of these years towards legacy and making it clear what he is here to do, it seems to me that Core Stevenson and Purple Pain simply could not or would not keep pace. In other words, while Young King was out here achieving legacy shit, grown man time shit, the other two were lagging behind, huffing and puffing and out of breath, unable to keep on the path straight. And the young King Devin, as the years progressed, provided, an image through his valiance of how wide the gap actually was between he and his contemporaries, most notably those two brothers, Core and Tank. The fucking gap widened and widened and widened and widened over the years. Until now, it seems an impossibility that they could ever catch up to him. There was a gap not only between the attainment and the achievements and the accreditation, but that the gap was also wide between them as far as their mindsets, their dispositions, their talent, their mission, the objectives, their vehemence had a large gap between it. The dedication had a large gap between them. That is what has been evinced to me beyond a shadow of a doubt. Miles and miles and miles ahead of these men, brothers and sisters. Why have Core and Purple Pain Davis fallen so far behind? Why? Why is it that they are not doing what they should be? What is it that they are doing or not doing, in other words? How is it that the young King Devin can become a 3-division champion and also be the youngest undisputed champion in the history of the 4-belt era? All the while, Tank Davis was in his weight class when he did it. Shakur Stevenson was in his weight class when he did it. How is it that happened on their watch? So he is attaining all of these feats. Meanwhile, Tank Davis has never once unified in the entirety of his career. Meanwhile, Core Stevenson has achieved no unification since fucking Super Feather or whatever goddamn division that was. Never unified. Didn't even touch unification all the time he's been at 135. Why are there no acts of temerity being displayed by these other two men? Where is their temerity? And when we look at it from this juncture, can we really deny the levels and miles apart, the wide gap that has been established between the young King Devin and the other two men? I don't think there is an argument to be had. You got to be fucking deaf, dumb, and blind to try to pose an argument to me trying to dispel the point I just made. Additionally, brothers and sisters, why is it not registering? you know, that it is simply not enough. And this is now I'm talking to the extended boxing community. Why is it not registering that it is not enough, brothers and sisters, simply to huff and puff about doing this or huff and puff about doing that to this guy or to that guy? Why is that not registering that you cannot just say that? Oh, because you huffed and puffed about it in front of a camera, that means that stands to be, that is all we need to be satiated as boxing fans, is your hypothetical notion about who you can beat. How you can sit there and say and gasconade about how you're that guy or about how you're the one or whatever the case is. Why is that not registering? That it's not enough. Why is it also not registering that must be proven on the battlefield? You cannot just say that. When will the collective boxing community understand that these men cannot also be treated as divas or some type of precious roses or something like that? They cannot automatically be given crowns that they have not earned. When is that going to be understood? In other words, beautiful people, an eye test is not earning your place. That is not how one earns their place. Going to take your place is how you earn your place in boxing. That is how my beautiful brothers have done it for over a century in this beautiful sport that I love. Go ask Jack Johnson. Go ask Charlie Burley. Go talk to the Murderers Row, who were denied all types of opportunity. Yes, I bring them up all the time because those are my brothers. I salute them. When the world refused to do that, I will always bring them up. Go ask them, who were forced to face each other. But at the same time, as crazy as it was that they were denied opportunities on the main stage, it is because they fought each other that they were made the best of men, the best of warriors. You go take your place. Meanwhile, we got these young kids out here playing fucking pity pat with each other. Oh, let's be friends. Let's go play hopscotch and double dutch over some fucking tea. Let's not attain championship. Let's tell the world that belts don't matter. Looking ass niggas. Get that shit the fuck out of boxing. I got smoke for all this bitch ass energy I've been seeing. Eye tests do not earn you a place of stature in boxing. Taking your place earns your place, as aforementioned. Passing the eye test, brothers and sisters, is but a prerequisite. It's what gets you in the door. It's the first step. That is level 1. Oh, the eye test. Okay. That's the prerequisite. That's going to get you, my attention. But it does not stop there, brothers and sisters. Where the fuck does it ever stop there? Who made it the rule that because you simply pass an eye test, you look good, you look cute, that's enough? Where the fuck is the substance? You can only prove the level of substance that one has when they show it, when they are tested, when they are given environments in which they can exemplify that. That is not the final course because you look good in an eye test or two. We can go on for years, brothers and sisters, as we already have done, assuming that this person or that person is allegedly or presumably great, right? As we have done as far as Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson are concerned. We can also go on, brothers and sisters, as a consequence of that, being idle and absolutely unproven in our assumptions if we simply operate on that level the way we have been. I am not content as a boxing fan with an eye test. That is not where I end. That is a part of the beginning that awards you my attention. But you must do more if you want to keep my attention. The point of warriorship, in other words, brothers and sisters, is to express who you are, to express what you possess among the elite who hold fire just like you. Yeah, you got the heat, so do 10 other niggas. What's popping? Go get it in with them and show me something. The pussy shit that I see in boxing today is so abhorrent on every possible conceivable level. It's revolting. It's become commonplace to make posts and comments about a fighter's outfit or who sneak dissing this or that person, or about how a fighter is talking sassy on Twitter. All the emphasis is put there rather than being put on pushing for and demanding that these men meet on the battlefield in real time. That's something I can never wrap my spirit around, brothers and sisters. I do not wrap around chump shit. It's disgusting. And far too much of it is pervasive currently. Now, another thing that I cannot stand is that there are so many hypotheticals going on. I am not here for hypothetical affirmations of any nigga. Are you going to do what the fuck you said or nah? Fuck your goddamn hypotheticals. I'm here for boxing. I am here to witness and support with all of my passion the best fighting the best. I want to see the making of beautiful brothers and sisters on the battlefield. That's what I'm here to do and support. I want valiance. I want gallantry. I want valor and heart. Anything that's not talking to me nice ain't talking to me. You ain't saying shit to me if you are not talking that. The reality is that neither Red Light Special Davis or Shakur Stevenson have exemplified a level of competitorship that would place them, at least for me, among an elite stature in boxing. Are they good? Quite possibly. Do they have potential? Absolutely and undoubtedly. But I refuse to place them on the level of the stature of an elite because that has not been proven. They have not walked through fire. They have not. I don't give a goddamn about how much we like them. Fuck that shit. Are you going to battle or nah? Fuck out of here if not, because you're wasting time. Are you in there with the best? Because I don't give a damn about nobody's fucking feelings. If you're not stepping like that, you're not stepping. There is no cossetting or holding of hands over here. The actions must speak, brothers and sisters. We are only asking these people to realize their potential. It is not to say that these men can tread along these paths and not stumble. I don't give a fuck. You attempted. You made the attempt. That is the gallantry, brothers and sisters. The victory is the icing on the cake for all of your hard work. That is the pursuit. But your character is the journey. I am looking for a display of character, brothers and sisters. And you can only get that through temerity. That's it. The exemplification of temerity. If you don't take that journey or that risk, you will not know. And you will always be second rate, if that. Assumptions mean nothing anymore. What will be done is the only thing that I have a concern about. What is being materialized? I have never seen a more susceptible, gullible, and credulous sports base than the current one in boxing in my life. What is up with these people, brothers and sisters? This shit ought to be studied, as we say, from week to week, right? What is going on? These people are out here plenty content with the idea, of a supposed hypothetical victory. It's like being content with the idea of somebody making a fucking touchdown. Oh, the idea of somebody making a field goal, the idea of that, the possibility that a 3-point shot may be landed, or the fact that it's a possibility that I can get this home run. They are satiated by that instead of actually being given a fucking home run. People are content with the assumption that one can possibly happen. What the fuck is going on? What other sport does this exist within? So we're going to dream up an imaginary fucking 3-point shot instead of shooting one? Go ahead, Steph Curry. Just imagine yourself making a 3-point shot for the win of this game. What the fuck? What is going on here? It's crazy. Fucking possibly maybe ass niggas. Possibly maybe this fight could happen. But if it did, I'm saying, I guess that he would win. Well, get the fuck in there then. Duke, get the fuck out. And let's see what would happen. I don't want to guesstimate or surmise for my whole fucking life. Nigga, get the fuck in the ring. Get the gloves on and let's do this. Let's get it popping. These people are satisfied by the hypothetical. It's the craziest shit ever in boxing. Absolutely cancerous to the sport. How the fuck do these motherfuckers prefer guesstimations, fabrications, allegations over concretization? I mean, it's just crazy to me. Make it the fuck make sense. Bitch ass niggas. I'm tired of hearing who you don't give a fuck who you think will win. How about we push for this fight? How about we hold these fighters to the stake so that we can get them made and end all the fucking assumptions? Let's get a champion. Let's get a victor. You know what I mean? I posit that the reasoning behind a lot of these perspectives are inextricably tied to the fact that, these cowardly people are placing faith, in the hypotheticals, in other words, because, these suckers know what time it is as far as Devin Haney is concerned. These are why the guesstimations, you can run the gamut on them. Oh, this person will beat Devin. Oh, that person will beat Devin. Devin ain't got nothing. We saw it with Brian Norman just a few weeks ago, brothers and sisters. Everybody in the world of these fanboys couldn't get them with their, to sit down with their goddamn guesstimations. Just tickle pink, cover themselves in glitter with the guesstimations. Oh, the power's going to overwhelm him now. Devin got the PTSD now, yeah. Don't go getting, too cocky about Devin. Devin got a pillow fist. He may just run from Brian Norman. Brian Norman got too much power, right? Just replete, thick with the guesstimations. Only for that man to get put on his motherfucking ass and dealt with. Bullied in that ring for 12 straight rounds. That's why they make the guesstimations, because when it is actualized, you get the outcome that we witnessed with Brian Norman Jr. And then they fucking disappear from view. Has anybody spotted a Norman fan still? I've been asking from week to week. I haven't seen one. The motherfuckers disappeared like the fucking cuckoo bird. Where the fuck are the Norman fans at, y'all? Any sighting of them? These motherfuckers turned into fucking Bigfoot out here. The Loch Ness Monster. We can't fucking find them. They turned into myth. They've turned into myth. Anyway, you know, they are satisfied by the hypothetical because they do not want to actualize the outcome that they know is inherent. They know what will happen, so that their complacency with the imaginary, with the mirage, with the fictitious is predicated upon the knowing that the young Deebo Devin will obliterate the myth of their favorite. In this case, Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis. That's why the protection squad is running rampant out here. Ever since he has been called out in the video, Tank Davis, and ever since, you know, Shakur, of course, you know, is obviously aware that he's on the hit list, and he is still making up excuses for the evasion of that man Deebo, which we will get into right now. Brothers and sisters, Shakur Stevenson is scared to death of the young King Deebo. There's just no other way to put it. All of these people that we will be talking about today are scared to death of Devin. Absolutely scared to death of that man. I am not mincing my words, brothers and sisters, when I say that. When I say any of the things that I am saying today, there is no mincing of words or energy over here. The man is petrified of Devin, and we need to call it for what the fuck it is. Too many people are comfortable saying this and that and the third with all their vehemence for something that is not even true. So why the fuck should we be reticent in speaking truth? Motherfuckers out here will say the most dumbest shit at the drop of a dime, warranted, merited, or not. Doesn't matter. But when it comes time to speaking truth, these motherfuckers are scared. He's petrified of Devin. And he will be that until he proves otherwise. There is no benefit of no fucking doubt over here. You prove me otherwise, you show me otherwise. If you are not doing that, this is what it is. In a recently conducted interview, brothers and sisters, as I'm sure many of you have seen, Core miserably attempted to explicate, once again, the faulty logic behind his preference of Conor Benn over that of Devin. Right? Now, I have seen this sucker ass energy in Shakur Stevenson for years now, as it comes to, and pertains to Devin. Seen it for years. Many of my good people here have as well. But I do not think that it stands to be more clearly evinced or more thoroughly spelled out for the boxing world than it has been now. This dude, Shakur Stevenson, is a sucker. A straight up chump. Absolute chump. And as I said, the young king is bringing the bitch up out of all of these dudes who have long been alleged to be quote unquote like that. He's bringing a bitch up out all of these niggas and showing that they are not on that type of time when it comes to Deebo. The bitch is just coming up out of them. They can't even hold it back. You know what I mean? Now, listen to this quote that I wrote down for you from Shakur Stevenson from that particular segment. This is a quote. I would love to fight Devin. The thing is, a lot of people kind of compare me saying that I'd fight Conor Benn with Devin Haney. And I understand it. But the thing that I say here with Conor Benn, I would want the same weight clause as he put on with Eubank. And that's what I would want on fight night with Conor Benn now. When I go up to 147 with Devin, is he going to allow the same weight class? Like, it's like it becomes a business. Like, how are we going to do this fight? I mean, if he do it, let's lock it in, man. End quote. Do you hear this shit? You hear this? If this nigga don't shut that soft ass shit the fuck up, what? Did you hear this, man? Brothers and sisters? So now he fight Devin and all. I fight Devin, but only if there's a rehydration clause. Shakur Stevenson is a puss. I said what the fuck I said. His whole style is chump. What the fuck is he talking about a goddamn rehydration clause? As if he wasn't just fighting at fucking 35 with this man. I don't want to, no, there's not going to be no sugarcoating, no sweet talk, no bubble bath talk up in here today, brothers and sisters. No bubble bath language in my presence today. This motherfucker is puss. The man who fought in and dominated the weight class that you were in needs to have a rehydration clause on him in order for you to step in the ring? Crazy work. Moreover, brothers and sisters, does anybody recollect, a particular time as of recently where Shakur Stevenson, upon speaking about Conor Benn, does anybody mention, recall Shakur Stevenson mentioning anything about a rehydration clause prior to now? When he was calling out Conor Benn and saying, oh, I want the big money fights. I go up to 54. I fight Conor Benn. Did anybody hear or catch a whiff of this nigga mentioning anything about rehydration for Conor Benn? Or was it only upon this? Was it only upon this discussion? As of right now, that he is alleging that he would put a rehydration clause on Conor Benn. Only within this context here. Because there was none. There was no posit made about such a demand or stipulation upon Conor Benn. He just said he wanted to fight him. All of a sudden now, you are alleging that you will put a hydration clause on what's his name? I sure as hell don't recall a time previous to this instant, brothers and sisters, to this instance. It appears to me that he is trying to save face from all of the fucking backlash that he has been receiving across social media, that has been calling out his hypocrisy of the stance that he has taken. Now, all of a sudden, he's talking about wanting a rehydration clause for Conor Benn. How fucking convenient. How fucking convenient that is coming up now after all of the backlash that you are getting about preferring Conor Benn over Devin Haney. All of the evasions you have for Devin Haney, right? Get out of my face. This dude is a whole chump. This motherfucker never once complained or considered weight when it came to that man. But magically, all of a sudden, weight was never, a thought in your mind that wasn't going to be some type of impediment when it came to Devin. It was always about weight whenever you talked about Devin. But weight never entered or crossed your mind when you were going to fight a motherfucker that just fought at 160? Puss. Straight up puss. This coward must be rife with the reality, that Devin is levels upon levels above him. And that is why he is looking to, if that fight were to get materialized, he would opt to impose some type of disadvantage in some type of way on Devin Haney because he is a coward. He's a coward. And he knows that he cannot effectually overcome or supersede the skill set of the young king. That is what this is about, period. Furthermore, brothers and sisters, who the fuck does this nigga think that he, is stipulating anything on Devin regarding matters of a fight? Who the hell does this nigga think he is? That you would stipulate a motherfucking thing on Devin. Can somebody explicate that to me, please? Last time I checked, Devin Haney is the welterweight champion, the WBO champ at 47. Who the fuck does Shakur think he is? Where does he get off talking to, like he's just gonna walk in the building and demand a hydration clause or anything for Devin? You don't put a rehydration clause or a goddamn thing on the champ whose division you're going to be entering into, you puss. I mean, the entitlement of this man is insane. Out of this world, brothers and sisters. Did anybody catch that? I was astounded. This is the same entitlement, brothers and sisters, that caused him to duck undisputed at 35 with Devin. This is what fucking cost him that fucking fight. That same goddamn blind entitlement, that deluded entitlement that he tried to saunter into the building with, talk about I demand a 50-50 with the fucking undisputed champion. Shakur Stevenson had not a single fucking belt at the time, brothers and sisters. Devin was undisputed. But this nigga gonna pump up his chest thinking that he could demand fucking 50-50 split from Devin? I don't even know if entitlement is the word for that man. So that he is still exemplifying this pompousness, this arrogance, that if he goes to 47, he would stipulate and demand a rehydration clause now on Devin Haney. It's just insanity to me. I am absolutely appalled by Shakur Stevenson. Dumbfounded by this man's level of timorousness and timidity. He is blatantly, brothers and sisters, tiptoeing around one of the only names that have been long associated with his own since they were boys. Tiptoeing around one of two of the biggest names that he stands to make legacy with in his era. He is tiptoeing around that, the making of that. You tell me what is justifiable about that, brothers and sisters? That this man is negating his own legacy and therefore his own potential. What part of that reticent behavior will get this man to the top of the sport? Please tell me that, brothers and sisters, because I do not know. Somebody needs to tell me. I am completely out of the loop as far as that is concerned. How is that reticent behavior going to get him at the top of the sport? What the fuck is elite about this man with that type of behavior? Where is elite warriorship exemplified within that type of disposition, brothers and sisters? I don't see nothing elite about cowardice. What portion of this man's behavior makes him an elite? And you assume that I should be giving this nigga a fucking crown? That I should be calling him pound for pound? Fuck out of here. I don't give a flying damn if he beats Teofimo Lopez come January. He's not pound for pound. Real talk. Tio, as I said last week in our previous discussion, Tio is his first certified test. In other words, Tio is his first eye test. We'll see if he passed. This is his eye test. Everybody else previous to this was not an eye test. That was the fucking prelims. This is his eye test with Teofimo Lopez come January 31st. This is Shakur Stevenson's entry exam. This will be his entry exam on January 31st. His first. Therefore, he is not elite until he shows and displays what level he's operating on come January 31st and after that. Because whatever he shows on January 31st is not all. It's not the end all be all. It's his entrance into a conversation about what his journey can entail. He has not made himself or proven himself yet. This will be his eye test. The duckery did not stop at Devin Haney, brothers and sisters. I want to really briefly, before I touch in with my beautiful people in the chat. This is not the only exemplification that we have seen over the week with Shakur Stevenson, as we know. We see the fucking duckery, blatant duckery of O'Shaquie Foster, right? O'Shaquie been calling this man out. These motherfuckers been motherfucking back and forth on goddamn Twitter. I don't know how goddamn long. I don't know how many times O'Shaquie said, let's get it popping. And Cor Stevenson is out here saying, oh, well, you can keep the belt. I don't want the belt. I'm over here, getting money. So once again, he's taking the belts don't matter stance. This nigga stay talking out the side of his fucking cheek. 1 minute he want to get the belts one by one. And the next minute, belts don't matter when it comes to competing with somebody of a challenge. Then he gonna fucking sicken another nigga on O'Shaquie Foster. You got another nigga trying to clean up your mess, nigga? Why don't you go wash his ass up? You got another nigga out here trying to do your fucking dirt? What kind of puss ass shit is that? You go wash his ass up. You gonna try to call Ray Ford? Oh, I'm a sick Ray Ford on you now, you hear? You better talk to me nice now. I'm gonna get the boy Ray Ford. You gotta go through him now. The fuck? It's not the most puss ass energy. And this shit is like, not going over everybody's head, of course, because us cognizant, conscious fans, we out here, looking at this stuff, dealing with it, engaging with it head on. But that a lot of these people have it going over their fucking heads to where they are reticent about calling this fucking puss ass shit for what the fuck it is. This nigga's a whole chump out here. You don't get no fucking passes. We chewed up people based off of mere assumption. But you gonna tell me you scared to hold fucking fire to somebody who out here wilding on that type of time, showing all types of pink? Crazy work. 1 minute, Ray Ford's going to get you. Next minute, oh, you can keep the 135 belt. I don't need it. I'm over here making money. Next thing you know, another fucking challenge and possible threat to him is the young Abdullah. Oh, Abdullah's too young now. You hear? Oh, my goodness. Give him about 10 more years, child. He'd be ready to meet me. There's levels between where he is now and where he could possibly be in the next motherfucking 35 years looking ass. Get this nigga to, quarter fuck out of here, please. I'm sick of this dude. He is not on my fucking pound for pound anymore. He is not in my good graces anymore. He got to prove himself all the way. All the way. He got food he's deliberately leaving on his plate, but he's calling himself a lion? A dog? Child, let me check in with my good people. Salute to the brothers and sisters in the building. I appreciate you guys. I had to put a foot all the way in there, a knee in that bitch, as far as that was concerned, brothers and sisters. So I see that I missed a whole lot of stuff. Salute to the good people. Anybody who I may have missed. I went a little ways up to see. I see a lot of people sharing their thoughts. Let's see. My twin says Tank and Core are disappointments. Absolute facts. Absolute facts. The King Eric agrees, ladies and gentlemen. Salute to the King Eric as well. Salute to the King Dragon. I see you. I went up a little bit. Not all the way up, but I went up a little bit to see. Salute to my beautiful sister Tay Tay. She says, I didn't get no notification, shaking my head. YouTube is the worst. You didn't? That's crazy. Yeah, I hear they do people dirty like that all the time. Hold on, let me get my charger, you guys. Hold on. Where's my charger? Charge my stuff. Here we go. Salute to my beautiful sister Tay Tay. Who else we got in the building? Hey Nugs, I see you. The King Snoopy says, they got Burger King. They got Burger King crowns. Devin is the only one that never turns down or ducks no smoke. Absolutely. Absolutely. Ain't that some shit, twin? Oh, I can't fight you. You're my brother now. You here? We're best friends to the end now. Let's share this here ice cream together. Get that soft ass shit the fuck out of here. I'm so tired of that ish. You know what I mean? I deliberately only kind of skated around that and touched upon the idea of that because, you know, if I sat here and divulged, you know, my thoughts about that, child, please, YouTube will kick me the fuck off with the thoughts that I have about, you know, the Keyshawn and the fucking friendship with the whole nonsense of that. It's disgusting to me. Oh, C Money Bed-Stuy is in the building. Salute to you. I think it's the first time I've seen you in my chat. I usually see you on my beautiful King BFTV's page. He says, salute Queen. Brooklyn is in the building. These bubble wrap fighters, these are bubble wrap fighters now. These bubble wrap fighters now are fine china. They come out once a year. Real talk. Fine china. Absolutely. And that's crazy you mentioned that because I usually use the analogy that these people tend to be treated as porcelain. So that's right up my you know, right up my alley as far as the analogy, gang. Fine china. That's exactly how they are treated. And that's exactly the entitlement level they seem to showcase. 1000%. Somebody said, why I'm so aggressive? Because I'm like that, you pussy. Fuck out of here. Change the fucking channel if you don't like it, bitch. I'm like that. That's why I'm aggressive. Fucking pussy. Anyway, back to my beautiful family. Oh my goodness, the beautiful sis Emma is in the building. Infinite blessings to you, beautiful sis. Love to see my good sister Emma in the building. Sis, I hope you're well. I don't think you were here last week or the previous week, so always good to see you, beautiful. Thank you for joining. Let's see. Ooh, the people was talking. Oh my goodness, is this Black? Salute to the King Black. Black is in the building. Salute to the King Black. He says, obliterate is crazy. Hyperbole is real. That is not a hyperbole. Okay, that's an actuality. He has obliterated the myth of a lot of these fighters, Black, with his moves. He's obliterated and demolished the mythology around them. That's why the bitch is coming up out all of these niggas. That's why they ducking and evading. That's why we see the duck sauce being added to the fucking plate left and right. I did not mince my words, and it's not hyperbolic at all. But salute to the King Black. Hey, here for boxing. I see you, King. I see you. Let's see. Oh, I think I got some super chats. Let me tap into the super chats before I continue. My beautiful sis. Thank you so much, beautiful sis, for extending some love into the channel. I appreciate you so much, beautiful. She says, cook, beautiful sis. Thank you, Queen. I love you. Love, 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 and big hugs. Oh my goodness, we got the King D2B up in here. Salute to the King D2B. He says, good evening to SugarFreeMars in the chat. Calling fighters out on their bullshit is music to my ears. Absolutely. You know what time it is over here, King. Wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for blessing the channel with your support. Speaking of here for boxing, he showed some love in the super chat as well. He says, hey, yo, she talking crazy today, King. Listen. It's just, you know, it's diabolical, okay, the things that we have been witnessing. And like I said, a lot of people are expressing a level of reticence that I find to be absolutely unacceptable. It is time for us to be unabashed, you know, as far as, you know, how we approach what it is that we see. We got to keep it the fuck real out here. You know what I mean? Because the baby and the cost setting, you know, has gotten us to the point that we are at now, where the entitlement of these fighters, the diva energy of these fighters supersede the passion for the sport, which is wild to me. It's absolutely wild to me. None of you fucking niggas are above, the sport itself. You are a representation of the sport. You are part of the foundation of the sport, but you are not bigger than it, right? We should be looking to uphold and maintain a standard. My standard is not no fucking diva ass, puss ass, chump ass, goddamn energy. You tell me when Charlie Burley was stepping on that type of time. You tell me when Roy Jones was on that type of time. Hagler, Ray. My fucking favorites was stepping. You know what I mean? Even if the best fights, weren't made due to politics or due to, whatever, business, whatever the hell fuck happened. I don't know. You know what I mean? Every fighter in every era cannot fight every person, right? We understand that there is a reality that we walk into, with absolute awareness, but that the attempt must be made. That's why I wanted to highlight the journey. Okay, so this person got away, that person got away because of whatever reason. Okay, but there is still this person and that person. There is still the opportunity for a fighter to move up and do the damn thing, right? They can move up a weight class or 2 weight classes. We just saw Bud Crawford do it, brothers and sisters, right? We know Sugar Ray to have done that, right? We know even Floyd to have done that, Duran to have done that. Okay? So that you create your opportunities. Don't sit up here and give me the excuse, oh, everybody is ducking me. Well, move the fuck up where the smoke is then. You know what I mean? But that you should be making the attempt. The attempt should be made. It is no longer acceptable that these people can sit around pompously gascinating, that they are the best, but have no intention on proving that. That's no longer acceptable, King. Salute to my big brother in the building, the Drew. Infinite blessings to my big bro. Infinite blessings. Always good to see you, King. Here for boxing, my good brother. He says, I'm not hard on Shakur because I know it's there, but he is on some diva shit. But what separates him from Tank is he's still active in the field. That's what keeps him off. Oh, that's what keeps him off him. I understand that. Yes, and that is true. He is active, and to that degree, I make the distinction and the separation as well, right? So that if you were here last week, or if you caught my last discussion last week, I had posited that Shakur Stevenson is mirroring Tank Davis. He isn't outrightly as far left of the extreme as Tank Davis, but that he is mirroring, he is orbiting a lot of the sentiments and the expressions of Tank Davis with this entitlement diva mentality, with the evasions and stuff like that he is making. But yes, I agree that at least he is active, right? At least he is actively fighting. You know what I mean? But it's like, it's a thin line. It may be a line, but it's a thin line, right? Because I don't intend to see F. Shakur Stevenson any more fucking Zepedas. That's for goddamn sure, right? And I also posited last week, brother here for boxing, that Teofimo, I think I mentioned it earlier as well. Teofimo this is the first test for me, and I'm very happy that he stepped up to the plate and is taking on this fight with Teofimo Lopez. This is his major test. Okay. And I'm glad that he is taking the initiative to do that come January. And I would like to see him continue on that path, but he must continue on that path in order to regain a level of status on my pound for pound list as far as the current boxers, right? He has to continue on that path. It does not begin and end with Teofimo Lopez. He must continue to get noteworthy fights made. But it doesn't seem like he is willing to do that so long as they pose a particular level of challenge to him, as explicated, by him in the interview. He'll make the excuses with the Devin Haney, right? He'll say, oh, an Abdullah Mason is too young, or if he goes back to 35, or he'll say that no, Shaki Foster is not something that he's interested in, right? So that he is wayward, in other words. And until he gets over that deficiency, the mental deficiency that he has, he will be relegated to what I consider to be second rate. That's my view on it, but I definitely understand what you're saying. Now, brothers and sisters, let me get into this. Speaking about Purple Pain Davis, we got to get into this really quickly, if I may. The same castigation that we have given on to Shakur Stevenson, okay, ought to absolutely be given unsparingly to Red Light Special Damn Davis. Brothers and sisters, as I'm sure many of you have seen by now, the legendary Bill Haney and the young King Devin, right, put out the smoke alarm the other day for Purple Payne Davis. They are on the hunt for him, right? They have let him know that they are hunting for him. DHP released a video, brothers and sisters, courtesy, by the way, of the creative mind of the beautiful King BFTB, right? Who put that video together for them, right? They released a video, and in that video, we see Deebo on his bike. Okay, we see him on his bike, ready for the motherfucking heat, as always. You know what I mean? He just finished cooking and smoking the socks of Brian Norman Jr. You know what I mean? He called out for the head of goddamn Rolly Romero, who we will get into in just a moment, by the way, right? And now, you know what I mean? He's also calling for the head of Tank Davis among his names, basically, right? So in that video, we also see, in addition to him on his bike, we also see Purple Payne Davis in that particular clip capping on camera, as the clip is, and the segment is taken from an old interview that Purple Payne had conducted, where he is talking about all of the alleged names that he wants to fight, or that he wanted to at least fight at that particular time that interview was held. One of which, of course, being Devin Haney, right? He said he wanted to fight Devin in that particular clip, which is an old clip. Another harsh reality here, brothers and sisters, or at least that will be a harsh reality for these fuck boys, is that Red Light Special Davis don't want no problems with Deebo. He wants no problems. He wants no smoke with Deebo. That's a harsh reality for a lot of these sassy ass man fans to deal with and take. Okay? He wants no problems with Deebo, but Deebo is on his helmet. He don't give a damn. He's out here bullying people. Once again, these motherfuckers are scared to death of the young black Jesus Devin goddamn Deebo Haney. Yes, that part. Because I know it hurts these fucking fanboys' soul when I say that. They scared to death of Devin. Right? Let's not forget, brothers and sisters, Purple Payne Davis's name was never removed from the hit list. His name is on the damn hit list, people. He's number 3 on that goddamn hit list. Let's not be forgetful. So yes, he is calling for smoke with that puss. So I've been hearing a lot of people complain, oh, well, why is he going after Tank Davis? But why does he want Tank Davis? Tank Davis got the knee injury, you guys. Didn't he just hurt himself? All this type of pussy ass excuses left and goddamn right. He been on that goddamn hit list. This ain't nothing fucking new. Y'all know he already had Red Light Special Davis on that goddamn hit list. So he been gunning for him. He didn't just wake up and say, oh, okay, let me just randomly play fucking spin the bottle and land on Tank Davis. He been calling for this nigga's head. Even beyond the hit list, as we know. Right? So yeah, he's on that type of time. And wasn't this motherfucker just about to fight a goddamn heavyweight? Speaking of excuses of these sassy ass goddamn man fans, all of a sudden he can't fight Devin. Devin is at welterweight. This nigga was about to fight a fucking cruiser heavyweight just a month ago. Crazy work. All the justifications these niggas can pull out of their asses, not one of them can justify that fact that he was about to fight a heavyweight, a motherfucker who is fighting the king, Anthony Joshua, next week or this week, whatever the fuck it is, this coming week. Tank was about to fight a nigga that's fighting AJ. Crazy work. But he can't fight Devin at 47? Child, please. Crazy work. Listen, I don't give a goddamn about his bruised knees. Purple Payne Davis he been had bruised knees probably, right? Tell him to get some new goddamn knee pads next time he wants to get freaky or frisky or whatever the fuck he was doing, working out or getting worked out. I don't know what the fuck this nigga was doing. Get some new goddamn knee pads. Be more gentle on those goddamn knees when you getting it popping. That ain't got nothing to do with me. What's popping with this work? Are you ready for the smoke or not? Once you heal up and them knees get better, you know what I mean? Are you with the shits or not? I don't give a fuck about your bruised up ass knees. Do you want to get to work or not? That's what I care about. When do we get to this work? Because you ain't got to fight right now. You know what I mean? Devin just had his fight. He's not calling you to fight, next week or something like that. Let's get this shit popping. You know what I'm saying? New year, after New Year, even springtime. Heal your ass up. You know what I mean? And let's set the goddamn date. You don't have to do this right now. So his injury is no goddamn excuse. He can heal up for that. Right? But let's get it popping. Are you down to get it cracking or not? You know what I'm saying? Bill Haney, again, put GTD on notice as well. In addition to that video, there was another video released by Bill where he put GTD on blast. If you guys have seen it across his Instagram or whatever, where he says, basically, the young king just brought me another Benz. You know what I mean? I'm out here living good. You know what I'm saying? DHP life. My son is looking out for me, whatever. Thank you, Devin, for the new car. You know what I'm saying? How are you guys holding up over there at GTD? Are you okay over there, Coach Cal? You know what I'm saying? This is what, Bill is stepping on in that video. Are you guys holding up okay? Because Devin is out here taking care of me lovely. Okay, he's talking to me all the way nice over here, as usual. How are you guys over there at GTD holding it together? How about you and your boy learn how to be more like? You suckers. That's pretty much what goddamn Bill Haney said in that video, right? He did a little wordplay there. How about you guys learn how to be more like, right? The fuck is up, in other words, to translate that for the bitches in the back. What the fuck is up is what Bill Haney was saying in that video. What's popping? You guys with it or not? Now, ever since their brothers and sisters, I ain't hear nobody say shit, right? Allegedly, there's a video, that was going around of Coach Calvin, in a car or something like that, trying to flex or whatever. I don't know what the fuck was going on with that, but they ain't said shit. Okay? This video wasn't about a fucking car. You know what this video was about. The video was about calling you and your boy out. What's popping? They ain't say shit about that to my knowledge. Ain't that interesting? Deebo, Dev brothers and sisters, like I said, is bullying your favorites like some bitches, because they are bitches. They are proven to be bitches at this particular point. It is time for these spineless ass motherfuckers to be treated exactly as they are. This is what happens when you're on that type of time. Okay? You got bitch ass energy. You're going to be treated and handled just as such. Tank can talk, he can tuck his tail. He can, try to act as if he is talking tough or whatever have you, right? Or let's say this, he can talk tough to his sassy ass man fans like he does his bitch. That's where he gives the smoke to, apparently. He talked to his sassy ass man fans like he do his woman. He can abuse the fuck out of them like he does allegedly his women, right? But he knows better than to act up when a real one is in front of him. That's the difference. How about you go put the smoke on Devin? Go take care of that. He put that smoke everywhere else except in front of a king. Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, he don't want to be embarrassed. He don't want to be made into a meme. He already said that. His own words. His own words. Okay? Express those types of sentiments. He don't want to be embarrassed or anything like that. Right? So that we have the reasoning and the logic behind this man. Absolutely, foolproof for anybody with cognizance to see. You know what I mean? Deebo is out here circling the block like a shark. And these chump ass cowards are hiding under all types of rocks. Crazy work. Motherfuckers out here using his fucking camouflage techniques. That's what Tank Davis is doing. You know what I mean? Those fucking sea creatures, I don't know, like a goddamn octopus or something like that, using his goddamn camouflaging techniques to blend in with the walls out this bitch. Trembling in his goddamn boots. Don't want to be found. He don't want to be fucking found. Oh, does he see me? Does he see me? Blended into the goddamn walls. What is this? And you know what? The sassy ass patrol, you know what I mean? The man fan patrol are out here protecting this shit. They are hiding that motherfucker under their, couches. They putting his ass, back in the closet. Hello. Hiding him under their skirts, hiding him underneath their mattresses. These simple bitches are, they life and death out here for their boo. They are going crazy hard for their man. You know what I mean? Doing at all costs what it takes to protect him. I would actually call that type of dedication admirable if it weren't so goddamn cowardly. These people are out here doing the most to protect their boo. Crazy work. Unfortunately for these sassy defenders, brothers and sisters, Tank Davis is going to need a lot more than that to keep the pressure that I got off of him. Gonna take a lot more than that. Because the real is in the building. Oh yeah, we heavy over here, the real ones. The real boxing enthusiasts, the real supporters of the sport. We 10 toes with the shits. And if we see the fuckery, it will be called out if you are not stepping correctly. Red Light Special Davis has set the bar, ladies and gentlemen, for a level of duckery, that has become absolutely cancerous in boxing. A lot of this is predicated upon his behavior and a byproduct of his outline, if you will. He has become the poster child, for what a showpiece boxer is, a showpiece fighter is. The mythology that was created around Purple Pain Davis, brothers and sisters, and the mythology that has been tolerated for so long around him is far from acceptable and is no longer, holding a place within the current landscape of boxing. It just does not hold anymore, does not suffice, in other words. This is why, people are more clear about the moves that are being made and are more alacritous about calling it out. Because it's being made more and more clear. Hence, why I highlighted the aspect of Devin's moves exposing inadvertently a lot of the cowardice that we see. Right? Devin is out here demolishing the Mirage, obliterating for the King Black who didn't like that word. He is out here obliterating the Mirage. One achievement at a time, one smoke alarm at a time. And everything is being brought to surface as a byproduct of his courageousness. In other words, brothers and sisters, it is because the young King Devin exemplifies gallantry and fortitude that all other behavioral elements currently at work in the sport have been allowed to hide in plain sight. Or at least, let me rephrase that. It is because his gallantry and fortitude that they no longer are able to hide in plain sight and are being unveiled. Okay? Now, Deebo's mission and him circling on his bike, as we see him do, does not end there as far as Shakur Stevenson, as far as Tank Davis. He is on a mission, period. Those are just bodies on a list to him. There are others. There are others that can get this work. And Devin is ready to showcase that and embark upon that. So it doesn't end there. While Deebo is circling around the turfs of these other chumps, he is also gauging the aspect of unification, which is absolutely imperative to him, because we know that he is on a mission for undisputed. He has not lost sight of the importance of unification, ladies and gentlemen. We know that over the past week, the disgusting duckery and pussery of Rolly Romero has left a lot of us real ones, a lot of us cognizant ones, completely aghast at how, just blatantly Rolly Romero decided to duck Devin Haney. Rolly flat out stated that he wants nothing to do with a fight with Devin. Period. Made no bones about it, didn't stutter, didn't mince his words, nothing. Rolly has been talking nonstop, brothers and sisters, over the years about Devin Haney, talking all types of trash. And every step of the way, he made sure, even up until right now, to keep it absolutely rhetorical. He kept it on a 1,000% rhetorical level, baby. He don't want no action with Devin Haney. And he made it absolutely clear last week in the video clip, right? Because he knows what will happen. He knows that he will be handed a clean ass whooping if he got in there with Deebo. Let's just keep it a buck about that, right? Now, speaking of Rolly, brothers and sisters, as I had made a post on my community page during the week, I have heard far too little commentary or sentiments or any type of expression concerning the cowardice that was evinced by Rolly. Nobody is talking about it. Widespread that is, right? Outside of us conscious folk. The larger boxing community refuses to talk about the cowardice or call out the cowardice expressed by Rolly. So now you're telling me that we are okay collectively, right? With blatant duckery, so long as it's not an elite black male like Devin or let's say perhaps Boots. We're okay with it so long as it's not those two men or people like that, right? So long as it's not an elite black warrior, we are okay with ducking. We can just give passes out to duck, right? Is that how we are moving now? Is that what we are accepting? Is that the only time these so-called fans and so-called media outlets will interject and chime in when it has to do with a black elite fighter that they allege is ducking? Is that the only time they will give their voice and chime in? Right? Was the world not just crucifying, for example, Boots Ennis only a few months ago for allegedly evading Virgil? Weren't they just on his ass for that? The alleged evasion of Virgil Ortiz? Didn't they just try to fry this man? It did not matter if those accusations were warranted or not. It didn't take but a second before the boxing world decided to, jump on the snide train and apt to berate the young Boots. Only to find that it was Ortiz who was shaking in his boots, pun intended. That motherfucker was shaking in his boots, not Boots. This nigga was trying to back out. He and his team were making all types of excuses. After Boots got in that ring, stood face to face with that man in the center of the ring. These motherfuckers made the excuses, not Boots. This puss wanted no smoke with that man. Made so many senseless, nonsensical excuses that I can't even keep up with what the latest one is, brothers and sisters. Disgusting work. Where is the heat? Where is the heat and the pressure for Rolly with this disgusting level of ducking that he just did? Unabashedly and on camera. Ducking Devin. Duck the opportunity, moreover, at unification, the very thing that he's never achieved in his life. How is this cute, brothers and sisters? That level of duckery. We got bitch niggas out here ready to censure Devin for doing all the heavy lifting. They ready to castigate Devin for the work he's putting in quicker than they are to calling out the fuck shit. If this not the goddamn Twilight Zone, I don't know what the fuck is. Drop of a dime, these people are running to disavow Devin before they to lambaste this pussy Rolly Romero. I mean, Deebo really out here, having niggas pissing in their pants. And it's diabolical. People, they want to act blind to this shit. People dropping like fucking flies, ducking for cover. And what's crazy is that this is the supposed, pillow-fisted runner track star that they running from. Running for their goddamn lives out here. I thought this nigga was who you was calling pillow-fisted 3 months ago, 2 months ago, 5 minutes ago. Now you bitches are ducking for cover. We can't find you. We outside and none of you bitches are here. What's popping? Aren't I a runner? Aren't you going to shut me up? Aren't I easy work? Where the fuck is the smoke? You know what time it is. You know better. That's why these bitches are ducking for cover. Anyway, so that the young King Deebo, is on his bike and he is headed toward the front door right now, since we had the invasion of the disgusting duckery of Rolly Romero, right? And we've heard not a single peep in the wind from Tank Davis, right? Deebo is on, en route spinning the block to the front door of Lewis Crocker, right? Who is currently the IBF champion at welterweight, right? In his division. So basically, while he's got a foot on the neck of Tank Davis, he's also got every intention to put the beats on Crocker should Tank Davis cave under pressure, which, I have no doubt that he will, right? Or that he's already done so pretty much. Now, the legendary Bill Haney shared a post of himself pursuing Eddie Hearn while at the fight, attending last evening's event, right? And they were backstage and Bill had made it clear, exactly what the objective of DHP was, right? He made it clear as to why he was there. And speaking of, somebody shaking in their goddamn boots, Eddie the Scammer Hearn, you know what I mean? Looked like he had Alzheimer's the way his energy was trembling, baby. That man looked shook. That Bill Haney was, in the building. You know what I mean? In his presence. And he basically said, oh, I know what you're up to. You want a unification. My guy has the IBF belt. Your guy has the WBL. I know what you're up to. I know you're already sliding up in the DMs. This is Eddie Hearn shaking in his motherfucking boots. You know what I mean? Trying to jokingly disguise his terror, pretty much. But he was shaking his goddamn boots. And Bill, just, cool as a, cucumber. No pressure, no nothing. He's just like, yeah, you know what I mean? We here. What's up? And Eddie Hearn pretty much asked like, oh, well, are you guys willing to come to Belfast, basically Ireland, right? That's where, what's his name is from, I guess, Belfast, Ireland. To which Bill Haney affirms, the earth is our turf. Shout out to the legendary Bill Haney, brothers and sisters. Did you hear that statement? Did you hear that fucking boss ass statement? The earth is our turf. In other words, brothers and sisters, you think DHP is going to be intimidated by your little motherfucking Belfast, Ireland, or wherever the hell the smoke is? You think DHP is going to be intimidated by travel? Excuse me? This is Deebo, brothers and sisters. This is the motherfucking king that has conquered 3 goddamn continents already, pretty much. You know what I mean? You think Ireland is going to keep that man away from legacy, Eddie? You know what the fuck time it is, baby. You know how we stepping over here. I don't give a fuck if your ass was on Mars. I'm going. If the smoke is there, if the belts are there, if the legacy is there and the money is right, baby, we are there. What's popping? So long as the legacy is first, and that's something I can achieve and attain, I will be there. What's popping? You know what I mean? But so I like to see that, they are on the hunt, that the ball doesn't stop, spinning. They are moving, they are making moves, they are setting up plan A's, plan B's, and plan C's. And this is why they are so, such proficient businessmen, right? Devin and Bill and all of DHP, the surrounding team. They always have, an eye and an ear out, and they are always making plans, and they are always, ahead of the game and making sure that they are a couple of steps, ahead of everybody else. So I like the strategic element that they are working right now. It's wonderful to see that they are, exercising all angles possible, to keep Devin not only active, but making the most effectual fights possible, You know what I mean? Because we don't want him just in there with any old body. Significant fights that are of worth and of note, right? But what's going to be interesting here, brothers and sisters, when I took a gander at that is, you know, seeing how long it'll take for Eddie to begin playing the evasion game. I couldn't help but think about that because we know Eddie is a straight up puss. You know what I mean? And we know that he has had, his own fucking sour ass sentiments for Devin and Bill for a long time, and of course most readily seen as of late. So I'm interested in to see what's going to unfold there. Is it going to take him long before he begins, the evasion game, the fucking duck, duck, goose game, in other words, right? Lewis Crocker is his fighter. That's Eddie's fighter. So, he already knows what type of time Devin is on. And he knows that Lewis Crocker ain't never faced anything close to anything like a Devin Haney. So he already knows what it's hitting for there. So I'm interested to see what scam, why, exactly why I call him Eddie the Scammer, what scam he's going to try to pull, to avoid that particular type of, collision. Let's see how long it'll take before he attempts the duck, duck, goose game, But the reality is, brothers and sisters, there is no bigger fight that Crocker could ever think to make right now. Facts or no? Lewis fucking Crocker? Who the fuck is he going to fight bigger than goddamn Devin Haney? Nobody. So the idea that they would sit to, put a finger on their chin and ponder, what other options are possible? Or let's see, what we can think about, how we can draw up. Ain't nothing to goddamn think about, nigga. This man never faced anything close to Devin Haney in accomplishments and skill or anything else. He has the opportunity of a lifetime, to even be considered by the young King Devin. You understand? And let's not also forget, brothers and sisters, not only has he not fought a fighter of Devin's stature, Crocker has never unified in his life. He's never been a unified champion, brothers and sisters. So that in and of itself is an accomplishment and an opportunity that he should grab, unquestionably. Unquestionably. There's nothing to think about. It's an accomplishment that he stands to, have as an accreditation in more ways than one, not only in achieving unification, but in fighting, a champion the level and stature of Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Making the most money, possibly of his entire life, because we already know the bag is coming with Devin. So that everything is on the table for this man, to have an opportunity to grab, right? It's crazy to me that they would try to sit there, and say, oh, well, let's see what's, let's deal with this and see what we can be made. Nigga, I hate those types of charades. It's crazy, but that's what you get when you're dealing with a, Hearn. We'll see what happens. But like I said, it's an opportunity of a lifetime. They are both available. This fight can be, made as early as fucking March or something like that. March, April, whenever, real talk. But either way, it's available. Both of them are open. Let's get it popping. I would love to see that. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens. All in all, I stand on my words. The posit that I made that the entire boxing world is afraid of Devin Haney is a truth that may, be found to be a harsh reality to some people, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes reality can be harsh, but only to those who are unwilling to grapple with that particular type of reality. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney is on a mission for absolute dominance and supremacy in the sport, as he should be. And it isn't that I think people should be threatened by. I think that should be saluted. I think that should be seen, as a motive force behind a sport that we love. That is the bloodline and the sustenance that keeps this great sport not only active, and a galvanizing element, but one that nourishes the longevity of the sport as a whole. We should be getting fighters on this type of time. We should be expecting to see the same thing of the brothers and sisters who we want to accredit, an elite stature to. You know what I mean? They should all be stepping on this type of time. It is people like Devin Haney, it's people like Clarissa Shields. You know what I'm saying? It's even people like your Katie Taylors or whatever have you, out here stepping on that type of time, like your David Benavidez, like your Bud Crawford, people like Wilder, in his heyday, people like AJ in his heyday. You know what I'm saying? Usyk, all these people. We have a sport that is replete with wonderful talent. There is no reason why we should not be seeing them exemplify the level of gallantry and valor and heart and temerity, full force, unabridged and unmitigated. That is what we are here for. That is what we should be supporting. Anything other than that is subpar. You know what I mean? And I refuse to accredit anything next to a pound for pound that isn't operating on that type of level, that isn't expressing that type of, vehemence for that greatness or for the attainment of their legacy. Even if they, have a couple of trip ups along the way. You know what I mean? It is the heart and the soul that you exemplify that makes you a warrior. How many times have we seen Roberto Duran lose? How many times have we seen Ali lose? Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? It's undeniable that these men have tried and failed and succeeded, but they are not any less, beautiful warriors. They are not any less warriors because of their victories or their defeats. They were made through them, and we are here to support them. At least you should be as a real boxing fan. So that's why I give all of my vehemence and passion and support to the young King Devin, because he really is standing out, among his contemporaries like Shakur Stevenson and your Tank Davises or whatever have you. It isn't that those other men do not have the potential, to express those same type of qualities. It is the refusal to do so that I have a problem with. And that's why, I hold them so unabashedly to the stake. A lot of my love is heavy. You know what I mean? I could rock with you and I can support with you, support you through and through. But that does not mean that you do not get pressure. It's because I support you that you get pressure. It's because I believe in you, or have at a particular point believed in these men, that they are getting this type of pressure because they are slipping. And I don't like what I'm seeing. And that's it. Yeah, let me check in with my good family to see what y'all was talking about. Salute to the good people. Anybody I may have missed. Are you talking? I don't know if you're talking to me here, so I won't read that one. Twin says, say it clearly for Black Lives to hear. Obliterate. Absolutely. 1000%. 1000%. Salute to the beautiful sis, Emma. She says, I'm not surprised Rolly ducked. He was already ducking, when they were on the same fight card. Yeah, sis, he's been ducking for, that man been ducking, child. I remember clips of Rolly ducking since I want to say 2020, 21. That man been ducking for a long ass time. Ain't nothing new. You know what I mean? I remember that, I don't know if you guys recall this, but I think DHP was in New York at a particular time, and I think Rolly was out in New York as well. And they were like looking for him. They were like on the streets of New York saying, yo, where's Rolly? They were looking at, through the garbage goddamn cans. Where's Rolly? Where his bum ass at? But that this has been an ongoing, back and forth for years, and to now have the opportunity to fight him, in a division that you guys are both, comfortable at, for unification at that. You guys are not just battling it out. This is a this is serious, heavy stuff. A unification bout, and you flat out say, oh, I don't want nothing to do with that Devin fight. I don't want nothing to do with fighting him. It's crazy to me. It's absolutely preposterous to me that could be said and that man not be absolutely castigated for that. It's crazy. Crazy work, this particular era. Salute to the King Corbin. I see you. Yeah, Eric. Almost like it's a team effort. Yeah, concerted effort. Among the major boxing community. Crazy work. Salute to the King NBAD. Nice. Salute to you if you're still in the building. I'm just scrolling through randomly, good people. Oh, salute to the King Uncommon. I see you in the building. Blessings to you. Who said that? Yes, Brandon. Big salute to you. Tank been ducking since 2019. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's insane, and he's been absolutely allowed to do that because they have been hiding underneath the guise of, oh, Tank is the money man, Tank sells out, Tank this, Tank that. All of it was illusion. All of it was mythology surrounded around, Tank Davis to keep him, from having to compete, with one of the names, not only long associated with his, but one of the men, who stand to, challenge him. Challenge him. I mean, really, really challenge him and even dominate him. And so he was strategically kept away from that smoke. Um, you know, and he ensures that it remains to be that way. He wants no problem with Devin Haney. Everybody, all of these people, majoritively, in and around his weight class, want no smoke with the young King Deebo. They're scared to death of that man. Absolutely scared to death. And we've got to call that out for exactly what it is. I think I received another super chat or two. Yes, I did. Salute to the beautiful Queen Mama Love, Tequila Fields, in the super chat with the love, 10 toes. Thank you so much, Mama Love. She says, 10 toes down and through the fire with the dream. Absolutely. Thank you so much for supporting the channel as always. Infinite blessings to my twin, Daryl Anderson, also in the super chat with the love. He says, you know what it is. Gotta leave my color for the great cooks as always. 10 toes with the twin, sugar free. Thank you so much, King. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your energy. And it's just always wonderful, to be around and chop it up with not only like minds, but people who have the same passion and flame, that I have for the sport that we love so much. Yeah, infinite blessings to the good people. If you guys don't have, anything else to add. Oh, somebody just came in. Blessings to you. Thank you so much for joining. I'm about to close it out, but infinite blessings to you. I appreciate you. Maybe catch the replay, right? See what it was that we were cooking on. Thank you guys for sharing your love and your energy tonight. I appreciate you. Oh my goodness, the great Mike, did I miss you? Salute to the great Mike. He says, I love SugarFreeMars. Infinite blessings to the great Mike, right? So I scrolled up, y'all, but I didn't scroll all the way up. So I may have missed a couple of people who were in the building. But infinite blessings to the great Mike, infinite blessings to my twin, infinite blessings to the Queen Mama Love, to my beautiful sis Cameron, all my hitters, the beautiful sis Emma, the King here for boxing, the King Uncommon, King Snoopy, all of the brothers and sisters who joined today. I really appreciate you. It's always wonderful to talk to you guys, from week to week. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. I think I'll end it there, land the plane there. Have a wonderful week ahead, beautiful brothers and sisters. Infinite blessings and prosperity to you this week and always. All right. I think I'm going to end it here. I'll catch y'all on the next one, you guys. Peace.